Nevada. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal. It's the penultimate game of the Mountain West Conference regular season. It's the UNLV Runnin' Rebels taking on a team that's firmly on the bubble, the Aggies of Utah State. As we look at the Mountain West Conference standings, Mountain West 11-5 record for Utah State, 2 games behind leaders San Diego State. UNLV at 6-10, but they started the season 10-0. Alex Sabario alongside Tim Doyle here at the Thomas and Mack Center here in Las Vegas. It's a very big game for Utah State. It's quad 2 game here for Utah State. They need to win this one. Stephen Ashworth, a big reason for Utah State's success because of his three-point shooting prowess.
Oh, clearly one of the best shooters in all of college basketball. And do not be fooled by the baby-faced looks. This kid is an assassin on the floor, and he's going to have to do a little bit of everything in this spot for Utah State. And on the flip side, E.J. Harkless is old school. I mean, he can go out there and get you a bucket every which way. He's not necessarily a three-point shooter, but he is strong going to the basket. He has been outstanding down the stretch, averaged over 30 points a game in the month of February. UNLV is looking for some momentum going into conference tournament play. Utah State cannot have a slip-up. Alex Del Barrio, it's simple. Something's gonna give.
We got the starting lineups here for UNLV and Utah State. Shane Knoll has come on as of late for UNLV. You see him in the starting lineup. Still no Luis Rodriguez in the starting lineup for the Rebels. That's been a big loss for them, not having his defensive prowess and ability to score as well as a third option.
You know, when you talk about UNLV, it is their defense. They lean on turning teams over at an extremely high rate. Utah State's one of the best offensive teams in the country. They shoot the 3 as well as anyone out there in college basketball. So you have contrasting styles in this matchup.
Utah State shoots a lot of 3s. Taylor Funk, Stephen Ashworth, the big reason for that. They're a top 5 shooting team in the country as a team at 40%. So we take a look at your keys to the game, Tim Doyle. Obviously taking care of the basketball, number 1 there for Utah State.
Yeah, because UNLV turns you over at a rate of almost 20 per game. Competing on the glass, matching that physicality is going to be important for Utah State. As for UNLV, we talked about Harkless. Keep him going. Last out, UNLV scraped out a win against Air Force. They only made 3 threes. They're going to have to make 7+ in my eyes to win this game.
Ryan Odom is the head coach in his 2nd season here at Utah State after what a successful run he had at UMBC. He's got him on the bubble and potentially in the tournament, but right now they're on the next 4 outline for Utah State. But what a nice job he's done. And then Kevin Kruger, does he look familiar? That's because he's the son of Lon Kruger. Very similar facial features there between Kevin and Lon. 2nd season at UNLV coach, 35 wins already. Again, a 10-0 start this season. You and I saw them very early in the season, and they were as good as just about anyone else in the conference.
Yeah, they've had some injuries, and they've had to kind of move some guys around, but defensively, when healthy, as good as it gets in college basketball. As you take a look at Utah State, Jerry Palm has them clearly on that bubble, Alex.
Yeah, on the next 4 outline. This is a quad 2 game tonight. So Utah State, certainly, they're not going to move up a lot with a victory, but they certainly can't lose tonight in terms of a quad 2 game.
Well, it was a great matchup in the first one. It was a game that UNLV got 0-0 from E.J. Harkless. He's going to have to be much more effective in this game.
A lot of foul trouble there for Harkless in that game. Only had 1 basket, 2 points. It's his lowest scoring output of the season. They expect to have him and be a very different game. Utah State in the blue wins the tip, and they've got the basketball here first. What do you want to see from both of these teams right off the bat?
Yeah, I think for Utah State, I talked about, they just got to get into their offense. When they are flowing offensively, they are a pleasure to watch. As for UNLV, yeah, their defensive pressure is almost impossible to simulate in practice.
Pull up there from Shulga. Lost his defender, pulls up from the elbow and knocks down the first jumper of the game. Max Shulga from Ukraine. Gets things started. Here for the Rebels. That was Harkless with the basketball up top. Now it's to Keyshawn Gilbert, the sophomore, who's had to do a lot for this team this year, growing up quickly in that role. Missed from 3, that ball's tapped out of place. Last touch Utah State, they weren't ready for it. So take a look at the series history between these two teams. 48th all-time meeting. UNLV has dominated this series, but Utah State has won 4 in a row, including the matchup in Logan earlier this year. But look at that, 19-3 all-time here at the Thomas & Mack. UNLV over Utah State.
That first matchup, Utah State turned the ball over 21 times and still managed to win.
Here's Harkless with a pull-up from the left of the circle, off the mark, and it's Taylor Funk with the rebound here for Utah State.
Utah State has not 1, not 2, but 5 different players averaging double figures. So watch that ball move side to side. That's when they're most effective offensively.
We're get it to Ashworth coming off the screen. He thought about the 3, takes it baseline. He's not afraid to drive it and kick. Bairstow in the left corner for 3, off the mark. The rebound taken there by UNLV. Mwaka now ahead to Gilbert. Sophomore from St. Louis, working his way inside, ran out of real estate and back out to Webster. This is Harkless to the rim, strong take off the window and in, ties the game at 2.
We talked at shoot-around today, and I gave him a compliment. He's old school. I said, don't take that the wrong way, because he scores 2-point shots, and he makes hard ones, and he is a relentless driver.
What a 3-point range that Ashworth has, missed there. He's going to try again, second effort, off the mark that time. They cannot let Ashworth get going. Here's UNLV on the break. Gilbert taking it to the rim, trying to draw some contact, no call, able to finish, way off balance on the shot, able to get it to go. Rebels up 2. One thing that's going to work to the Rebels' favor is they can keep the energy going in this building. It is senior night. It's the final home game of the season. As we get a whistle here, and it's going to be against the Rebels.
At last out, I'll say it, they got lucky to be the Air Force. They won that game 54-53, and now you come into this game against Utah State almost with new life. There's new energy. March is finally here. John Rothstein, we sleep in May at CBS Sports. And they have come out and they have played with a fire in their belly to start this game.
Ashworth, little runner, got that to go. Known for the 3-point shooting, but he'll drive it too. Webster back to Harkless. He'll take the 3. Got it, rattles it home. You have to think Harkless was thinking about the last time these two teams met when he only had 2 points.
Yeah, he only shoots 26% from 3, but he shot that one with confidence. That's going to be trouble for Utah State. And there he is defensively.
Utah State turns it over here. UNLV up by 3.
Yeah, you have to respect Ashworth's shooting. And there he takes advantage of it with the drive into the lane. You see the balance right now. Dan Aiken comes off the bench. He's had 6 double-doubles this year.
One of 12 teams in the country with 5 players averaging over 10 a game. You see the offensive prowess from this Utah State team. And usually Ashworth's going to get his. Funk is usually going to be involved, but it's always someone else, depending on the flow of the game, who becomes that third option for this Aggies team. That's why they're so dangerous. And if they get in the tournament, they're going to be very dangerous in that opening round.
Yeah, but so far, the pressure of UNLV has bothered them.
Harkless, corner 3. Again, you mentioned not the best 3-point shooter. That was kind of a heat check after a rattle that first one in. Bairstow. Jump pass out to Ashworth. Thought about it, hesitated a bit, had Harkless on it. Oh, lost Harkless. Ashworth with a nice little dish off there. And a little runner, got that one to go. Trevin Dorius with the finish.
Dorius was really good in the first meeting, where he scored 10 points in 16 minutes.
Right finish there. Walker. Shulga with the pull-up, rattles that one in, and now the pace of this game is picked up.
Shulga, his last 4 games, getting almost 17 a game. His offense has really picked up down the stretch as Utah State comes into this game on a 3-game winning streak.
One-point game here in Vegas. Rodriguez back in. He's missed the last couple of games. Missed his first opportunity there. Could tell they were trying to get him a shot early.
He got a great look. He was open, and he was the first one in the gym today at shoot-around, and
That's a shot he can clearly make.
Bairstow with a runner, got that one to go. Beautiful shot there from Sean Bairstow, the senior from Brisbane, Australia. Certainly a lot of international flavor on this Utah State team.
Well, there's good flow pace to this game right now. Both teams are in a nice rhythm offensively.
Coming off the screen, this is Gilbert trying to throw it up there. Just missing a tap out of play. Trying to save it there was Rodriguez. And it's going to be Aggie ball as we step aside.
Utah State. Every single game is important down the stretch here as our Jerry Palm has them clearly on that bubble. Stephen Ashford does it with the 3. Here, he does it with the dime. You're watching college basketball. March to March, presented by Principal.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Principal, helping you plan, protect, invest, and retire. By Jeep, there's only one. And by AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, secure.
Back in Las Vegas, Utah State has reclaimed the lead at 10-9 over UNLV, a quad 2 game. Utah State needs to continue to build their resume. Jerry Palm has them in the last 4 out. Stephen Ashworth, huge numbers for him this year. 5th in the country in three-point field goal percentage.
Yeah, and he was talking to me about his workout in the postseason. It used to be 300 made shots, and it's become so maniacal that now it's 21 out of 25 in each spot, but if he misses 2 in a row, he goes back to 0. It was almost like Rain Man-esque of how he gets after it in the offseason. That's why he is one of the best shooters in college basketball.
How many hours in the gym would it take you to make 300 shots?
We would still be shooting.
Here's Bairstow. Ashford nearly slipped and fell. 7 on the shot clock. Working baseline. Good ball movement. Funk in the corner. Miss. Offensive rebound. And a 2 for him and flush. Dan Akin with the slam. Leading rebounder for Utah State. 5th in the Mountain West in that department. Big offensive rebound and a big flush. There's Jackie Johnson. 3-point attempt on the wing from Webster. Misses. Offensive rebound. Quickly back out to Jordan McCabe. Now it's Webster again. Tries again for 3. In and out.
Both shots were good misses, though. Right on the line, just in and out.
Funk kind of struggled with his shot as of late. Struggling to hang on to the basketball there as we get 2 hands on the ball. With jump ball is going to send it back to UNLV.
And what a luxury that Ryan Odom has, that he could go to the bench and bring in a veteran who's had 6 double-doubles on the year, just plays with amazing energy there. Now, this is big boy basketball. This is March. Even though you box out, you got to find where that ball is. Utah State's doing a nice job of matching that physicality of UNLV at the start.
Dan Akin, a graduate transfer from London, England. He was with Coach Odom at UMBC, was a part of that team that beat Virginia, that first ever 16 seed to beat a 1. And here he is with Utah State, contributing big minutes for them down the straight stretch, trying to get them back to the NCAA tournament, the Aggies. Working inside, it's Keyshawn Hall, working strong, gets it to go, count the basket and the foul. He had a season-high 19 points, the freshman did, the last time these 2 teams met back in Utah.
And he only played 25 minutes in that game. He's got a really diverse skill set, but this is basically mouse in the house, and he took it one-on-one and scored on one of the better defenders in the Mountain West.
We saw them in the MTE and San Juan Capistrano. We didn't even see him in the lineup. It was a very short bench for Kevin Kruger at the time, and he's worked his way in getting some of these underclassmen some more minutes. Some of it's been by necessity because of injuries, but they're growing up quick here at UNLV.
I think the biggest thing for him is changing his body. He's got great length, but now he's going to put a little more muscle on to play on the inside. But he can do a lot of different things offensively.
Bairstow works his way to the block. Look at him finesse his way to the block and misses the shot. Hangs onto the net there. Comes up empty. Here come the Rebels. Jordan McCabe. And In the lineup now for UNLV, this is Johnson and Gilbert. Now it's Johnson, the southpaw, launches the three, buries it. UNLV had started 1 for 6 from downtown. That's their second three. And they're up by 3, 15-12. Ashworth launches, got it. You know he's going to get going at some point.
I talked to him before the game. I said, who do you like watching? He said, Steph. I said, oh, he goes, Steph Curry. I said, I know who Steph is. You don't. I go, do I look that old that you have to say his both names?
Who would have been the other Steph? Rodriguez. Fancy dribbling up top, misses short. Offensive rebound there. Second effort, no, there for Keyshawn Hall. Pass ahead, they were looking for Bairstow, and Doyle's gonna have to make a play on the basketball.
Hey, give me a jersey for crying out loud. I see the ball coming this way, I want to dive after it. It's March, tournament time's around the corner, and Stephen Ashworth is trying to get this Aggie squad into the big dance. You give him any space, he will make you pay. Stay up late, Mountain West style.
Back in Las Vegas, it is March, folks. We're tied at 15 in the penultimate game of the Mountain West Conference regular season. And we pulled Tim Doyle away from the roulette wheel to join us for this game here tonight. Alex Sabario, Tim Doyle, glad to have you with us here. And Timmy, a huge game for Utah State. They're right now outside, if you ask Jerry Palm and his bracketology, they're in the next 4 out. Big game for them tonight because it's a quad 2. They're not going to move up if they win, but they certainly can't lose.
No, and it's unfortunate because the Mountain West this year is so deep and so diverse. A team like UNLV has lost 3 games in conference by 2 points. You know, you turn around those 3 games, all of a sudden they are right in the hunt right now. The big thing that's going to hurt him, right, 0-4 against quad 1 teams. Ryan Odom's did a great job here of getting all these guys to buy in. They play a really fun brand of basketball, but it's a contrasting style type of game, and so far they have matched UNLV's intensity and physicality.
Meant to tell you though, you need to stop putting chips on green. It's not going to hit.
That was my number, by the way, 0-0.
Jordan McCabe with the basketball here for the Rebels. Down low, reverse layup attempt there from Noel, off the mark. Utah State with a rebound.
Now, Funk has been quiet in this game. Last game these 2 teams played, he had 20 in the first half.
Funk's a guy that can certainly fill it, but he'll go on stretches, for the lack of a better way of putting it, where it goes into a funk. He's on one now as Shulga misses there. Bairstow thought about it. Well, we'll get a fresh 20 here to work with. Atkins setting the screen there for Shulga. And we're going to whistle for an offensive foul. It's going to be against Atkins. That's his second.
2 fouls in college basketball. That means bench time for any player in the first half.
That's 5 turnovers now for Utah State.
Yeah, and at that rate, that means they return the ball over 20 times. So first matchup 21 times. That's not going to be good enough in my eyes on the road to win this game for Ryan Odom's crew.
There's a steal. McCabe telegraphed that pass in transition. RJ Idlerock muscles his way through and with some strength able to get that one to go. Another player from London, played at UMBC with Coach Odom. No, misses. Gets the rebound with the kick out. Hall misses. They're starting to cool off from 3. They're now 2 of 8 from downtown. Here's Funk. They were on him early. Ashworth, crossover, nice move. Gets inside and able to float it and put it in. Gets the friendly bounce.
He's amazing at taking what the defense gives you and exploiting it and getting to his spot. And then if there's help, making the right basketball play for his teammate.
Idle Rock commits the foul there. Another one against Utah State.
here's the steal for Idle Rock. He had 4 points in the first matchup. That was just great physicality. And then watch how Ashworth slithers through the defense. You don't step up. A teardrop. Last out against Wyoming. 19 points and 7 rebounds.
McCabe coming off the screen, misses off the heel.
They list him at 6'1". That's kind of Fletch-esque, like 6'4" with the Afro 6'8". I think he's a little closer to 5'11".
Hamoda floats one up, looking for the alley-oop. Just could not finish. Could Dorius. The Aggies have a fresh 20. Ashworth. Work inside, trying to pass it off, and there's, again, active hands for UNLV, another turnover, number 6.
Yeah, I think this is a play where Harkless has to make something happen for himself right now. He hasn't touched the ball in a while.
Harkless drives out to McCabe, thought about it, one dribble, lost his defender. Now back out. A little teardrop shot, one-handed by Noel, off the mark. Here's another takeaway. Harkless, reverse layup. Thought he should have just taken it right side, eh, Tim?
That's a layup he makes 99 out of 100. That is not a difficult shot, and he has to convert that. Once again, another turnover. This is starting to become a little worrisome, and Hamoda, it basically let him go, but that's an easy layup for, a big-time Division I player. And that's one that normally he puts in.
7 turnovers now, though, for Utah State, something that we'll continue to keep an eye on. And, you go back to shoot-around, Tim. Coach Odom was kind of on his guys at shoot-around about focus for this game. And a bounce pass. Dorius inside, able to finish this time.
Yeah, the more impressive thing there was Dorius's catch. That is not easy for a 7'1" guy to gather himself. Excellent hands.
The lead is 6 now for Utah State as UNLV has cooled off. They haven't scored for nearly 4 minutes.
This is what Utah State does. They share the wealth. They are on a 9-0 run right now. It seems like it's a different player every single time making a play. This time, Dorius with the catch in the finish. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal.
9-0 run for the Aggies of Utah State has them up 21-15 on the Rebels of UNLV. Next Thursday at 3 Eastern, get ready for some Mountain West tournament action here from Vegas as the men's quarterfinals tip off right here from the Thomas & Mack Center. Find out who'll be one step closer to the big dance here on CBS Sports Network as we look at the bracket, what it would look like if the tournament started today. Of course, San Diego State right up at the top as the 1 seed. Utah State would currently be matched up with San Jose State, who has been quite the surprise this season in the Mountain West. Tim Miles doing a tremendous job there. And you see Boise and Nevada. Nevada just went into Wyoming and fell to the team that's currently seated 11th. Shows you how deep this conference is right now.
Well said. This is a conference that is completely up in the air. Air Force and Joe Scott, they are going to be a top 25 team within the next 12 months. I think that they are grooming something really special up there in Colorado Springs.
Make it a 12-0 run. Shulga hits from downtown. It's 24-15 now, Utah State. They seem to have found their offense.
Now, if you're UNLV, you need Harkless to stop the bleeding.
Harkless pull up from 15. That short range you were talking about, missed there. And back come the Aggies. And this is what they do. They can score in big bunches. Bairstow on the tape with the floater underneath for Dorius. Fakes that time, then we get a block. Ashworth gets it back. He pulls up from 12, got it. Doesn't matter where Stephen Ashworth is on the floor. He's an elite shooter. Rodriguez with the toss-up, looking for the alley that time. And we get a foul here. Waka will go to the free throw line. It's going to be on Dorius.
Talked about last game. Stephen Ashworth had 9 rebounds. Folks, he's 5'11", maybe 6 foot. He lists 6'1", which I appreciate. Everyone should lie about their height. but he just always has a nose for the basketball, and he finds it there. He's off to a great start. He has set the tone on the road, as we've talked so much about. Can't lose this game. Got to be in that hunt to stay on that bubble.
That ends a string of 1 for 9 from the field here for UNLV as Rodriguez, who's missed some time, 5 games due to injury this year. He's missed the last 3 and then missed 2 others in January. And, you know, he's a role player for them, but he's a big part of who they are as an identity.
Oh, absolutely. His physicality, his defense.
3-pointer and a foul here. It's going to be against Jordan McCabe. 3 free throws coming up here for Utah State. What'd you see here, Timmy?
Yeah, Shulga had made one before, so when you're late to recover, you get out on a shooter, but you're out of control. And McCabe should know better because that's what he is. He's a shooter. He was great in the first matchup against Utah State, really kept UNLV in that game, him along with Keyshawn Hall. McCabe had 17 points. He banged down 5 threes.
Shulga, the junior from Ukraine. A big game against San Diego earlier this year. Take a look at what Shulga's done so far today. He's already got 8.
Well, he has 4 double-doubles on the year, so at 6'4", he's one of those guys that does a little bit of everything. But that's Ryan Odom's squad, right? Everyone's able to score, everyone can pass, they move the basketball. But when he's making shots from deep, he's a really tough guard.
Misses the 3rd free throw attempt. Offensive rebound. Now Shulga gets it back. Got it for 3. And Max Shulga on fire. He's already in double figures. He's got 12. His 2nd 3 of the game right there. Now Utah State building some separation. Harkless working inside, trying to draw the contact. That was a tough shot there from Harkless. Stops the bleeding a bit. They were 1 for their last 9 from the field before that make. Ashworth launches. That looked good coming off his hand, but he misses it long. Here come the Rebels.
This is an important basket for UNLV to get back in this game.
Harkless with the toss-up again, looking for the alley-oop. And again, it's knocked out of play. It'll stay with the Rebels. Looking for Mwaka there with the finish.
Utah State is shooting over 70% from 2-point range. So when they have gotten inside the arc, because that's what you want to do, you want to chase them off the 3-point line. One of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. And they have taken advantage of that.
Harkless quickly into the freshman Hall. Finds some room. No, call for the offensive foul.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if the defender is inside that circle. And I think he was. And I think this is a good basketball play that I think the referees got this one wrong. I think they're going to call player control. I think I know what they meant, but I'm not in love with that call.
Ashworth misses it to the right. Offensive rebound, Dorius. Ashworth floats it up. Dorius catches, misses. Hall with the rebound. Boy, Hall is active, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Here's McCabe left open for 3 count. Jordan McCabe from downtown, the 5th-year senior. It was a big part of what they did last year. They didn't use him much early, but come the conference season, they really relied on his leadership and ability more. Offensive foul, Utah State's going back to UNLV. Another turnover, number 8.
You know, I gave you an exact number. I said for UNLV to win this game, they have to make 7+ threes. Last out against Air Force, they were 3 of 20 from 3. So far, they've already made 3 threes. And the way the game is played now, you have to have that ability to spread the floor. At least keep the defense honest, or else it's going to be almost impossible for Rodriguez and Harkless to drive when shooters aren't capable of making shots.
You know, this there from UNLV. Utah State up by 9. Ashworth, corner 3, got it. Stephen Ashworth from downtown. Now he's got 12. That's his second 3. Started 1 for 5. Harkless takes the 3. He got it. That was pretty. Nine-point game again. Aggies on top. Quad 2 game tonight. Big for Utah State's potential tournament resume. Driving to the rim and drawing the foul there is Akin.
UNLV trying to get a signature win at home, build some momentum going into the conference tournament. E.J. Harkless, he's doing all he can.
Back in Vegas, Utah State with a 34-25 lead over the Rebels of UNLV. Now time for Worth a Watch, brought to you by Principal. As we take a look at Stephen Ashworth and what he's done tonight.
Yeah, just kind of that old school type of point guard. One of the amazing shooter. I know that he loves Steph Curry, but he has a little Steve Nash in his game because he plays the angles so well and he takes what the defense gives you. We talked to Ryan Odom because we wanted a comparison.
Right.
What did Ryan Odom say?
He said he reminds me of me when I played. Now he did say I was D3 guy, so it's like it's not the same thing. But in terms of style, he's like that's what, because he's not a traditional point guard. He's a shooter. He's looking to score, but has the ability to make plays, pass the ball, drive in and kick, all those types of skills that Steve Nash had.
What I found interesting with Ryan Odom, when we asked him point blank, do you talk about your squad being on the bubble? And we were both surprised that the answer he gave us.
You and I have called games together for 4 years, Tim. I can't remember a time, especially late in the year, when we've talked to a coach of a team that's on the bubble. Do you talk about tournament resume? Then I'll say no. And Coach Odom, who again came from a very different situation, came from a team in the American East and UMBC where you got to win the league. You got to win that tournament if you want to make the NCAA tournament. Here, you can have a tournament resume to get in. He's like, I want the guys to know it from us and not from, with all due respect to Jerry, from the Jerry Palms or Twitter. We want them to hear what their potential can be from us on the coaching staff.
I love that transparency there from Coach Odom. It was refreshing to hear an honest answer because, no doubt about it, it's the elephant in the locker room.
Something you can't hide from. That information is out there as they work it into Akin.
But I also think you have to have a mature team, and
yes,
that's what he has.
He's got a very old team.
Correct.
25-year-olds on this team. I think they're the 5th oldest team in all of college basketball by the numbers. That was the numbers from earlier in the year. But
I think if it's a younger team, you kind of go with that next game mentality. But with Ryan Odom, he's like, let's be honest. Let's talk about it.
Second season here at Utah State. And, you know, very interesting hire for Utah State to go and get UMBC, a UMBC coach as their next head coach. It's one of those where a search comes in and finds a guy, because Craig Smith was the coach here before, did a nice job, moved on to Utah. No connections to Utah State whatsoever. And here he is taking over a program that's right in the thick of things in the Mountain West every year.
Yeah, he had a very strong wake-up to his team at shoot-around today. There might have been some other words added to that because he thought his team was lacking concentration today, and they've come out and they've looked really sharp on the offensive end.
An 11-point lead here for the Aggies.
And this is where UNLV gets in trouble, a lot of standing around on offense.
Harkless, strong drive to the hoop. And he gets a lot of contact. He's not getting any calls right now. That ball's tapped out of play. Harkless has really made some strong moves to the basket, and he's starting to show some frustration here. He has his palms down looking at the officials saying, what do I got to do to get a call? As Ashworth drives it in, he gets the call, and they say no basket. Foul was on the floor up near the foul line. So it'll be Utah State ball. Coming up next, it's AT&T 5G at the half. We'll send you back to our New York studios. Adam Zucker, your buddy Wally Zerbiak in studio today. Renee Montgomery, Gary Parrish. From the latest around college basketball, AT&T 5G at the half. It's coming your way next.
I got a chance to work out with Wally Zerbiak, who was an NBA All-Star. And it reminds me a little bit of Stephen Ashworth, because every time Wally shot the ball, it looked like it was going in. And with that made free throw, Ashworth has made 53 of his last 55 free throws. Wally had that same type of form that every time he shot the ball, you were surprised if he ever missed.
Ashworth makes them both.
By the way, I didn't jinx Ashworth there. That does not exist when you start talking about how great a shooter is. That's phony.
I don't think that jinx works on elite shooters. Rodriguez on the drive, get some contact there.
Now, I actually thought that should have been a three-point play for Ashworth, and I would like to see that evolution in the college game of continuation. I think that makes the game more exciting when there's a continuation. Just like that last play for Rodriguez, I thought that should have been a shooting foul.
Rodriguez, way off balance on that shot, hit the backboard first, then the rim. And we get another foul here against UNLV, and that'll be free throws. So that's team foul number 9, I beg your pardon.
This is what you don't want to do. Utah State as a squad, 77% from the free throw line.
RJ Idle Rock will go to the line. Idle Rock at 75% from the stripe, connects on the first. Again, another player that played for Coach Odom at UMBC, was on the all-rookie team in the America East. One of the Utah State players, talk about older players, he's already graduated. Free in sociology. So Idle Rock rattles home that one. UNLV's got to find some scoring from their starting lineup. They've got 13 bench points of their 25. Harkless has 10. There's a drive and a miss. Offensive rebound and a near takeaway. And they say, we got a foul underneath. Shane Knoll.
I mean, how many layups has UNLV missed at point-blank range? I've counted at least 6, and you can see Kevin Kruger, he's frustrated as well.
But do you think that there's been some more fouls down there in those missed layup attempts that have not been called?
At this point in the year, I like that the referee's going to let guys play. I didn't love that offensive foul call on Keyshawn Hall. His defender was inside the circle. He was playing with a physicality, but UNLV, you know, this time of year, you got to make bunnies, and they have missed a ton of them in this game. You know, you add in those 5-6 layups, all of a sudden this game's much, much closer.
Ziamoda, the first ever NCAA player from Bahrain, checking in.
This is right around the danger zone time, so they're going to get 2 more possessions here. It's such a mental edge if you can go into the half in single digits after trailing by double digits for the latter half of this first half.
Now the southpaw connects on the free throw. 13-point game here in Vegas. These two teams played a 4-point game in Logan. Shulga had Harkless all over him, and Harkless commits the foul. UNLV now over the limit as Harkless picks up his second. And this will be 2 free throws here for Shulga, who's got a nice first half here with 12 points.
Now, I understand you want to pressure teams, and that's your identity, but that's a foul if you're E.J. Harkless, you want back.
I mean, you don't really need to guard Shulga that far away from the basket.
No, but that's what UNLV does, you know what I mean? Like, that's their identity, but if you're E.J. Harkless, you just have to be smarter, and you have to kind of know where that line is and not cross it defensively. He crossed it defensively. He put his hands on Shulga's back. Shulga
connects on the free throws. 14 points in the game for the junior from Kiev. UNLV coughs it up here. And we're going to get a foul called against Samoda. Will be the first foul on Amoda.
Yeah, Harkless was really outstanding, out of this world in their win against Air Force. That was the game they trailed by 1 with under 10 seconds left, didn't have the ball. Got a steal, he had the game-winning tip-in, 23 points. He was the only UNLV player in double figures.
And what a month of February he had. He led the Mountain West in scoring in February at 23.3 points per contest. And he's kind of had to carry the load because of plenty of injuries on this UNLV team, and they really don't have that second true scoring option.
Yeah, it was Gilbert earlier in the year.
But a young player that's stepping into a starting role, was very good in the non-conference. (42-29) now as we approach the 1 minute mark. Last 8 points for Utah State have come from the free throw line. Ashworth trying to change that. Bairstow gets up in the air, kind of got caught up in the air, gets it to Funk. Ashworth back out to the corner. Great defense in this possession. Amoda launches the three, in and out. Rebound grab by UNLV, trying to get some points here. Get some momentum before we reach the intermission. Noel with some fancy dribbling for a second, then dribbled it off the back of his ankles, and a turnover here for UNLV. Ashworth to Bairstow. Amoda drives, baseline, takes it to the rim and scores. Amoda. That's his first bucket. Utah State firmly in control here in Las Vegas. They lead 44-29. Let's take a look at the Jeep AP Top 10. Right up at the top, the Cougars of Houston trying to get to the Final Four in their home city. See where they're at. Alabama, Kansas, UCLA, Purdue round out the top 5. Thoughts on this top 10, Timmy?
Yeah, I think UCLA is going to end up being my pick. Mick Cronin has experience there. Jaime Jaquez has been there before. Tiger Campbell, you add in Amari Bailey. When he's healthy, he gives you that dynamic wing presence. When I handicap college basketball right now, continuity, experience, especially at the guard position, that's what's going to win in March.
How about the job that Shaka Smart's done at Marquette? Got him at top 5 in the country. He has him kind of in the mix. You know, very, very tough Big East this year. And then the job that they've done in Texas after the Chris Beard situation. Just a tremendous tournament we have in store for us with some very good teams around college basketball. We'll wait and see to see how many teams out of the Mountain West get in this year. The conference tournament, which you can watch here on CBS and CBS Sports Network, is going to be tremendous. Webster, 10 on the shot clock here. Harkless, thought about it. Here comes the double, lost both defenders, launches the three, and he got it. E.J. Harkless from downtown, his third three-pointer. 2 seconds to go. Bairstow on the other end, off of the glass, too strong. And UNLV gets the final bucket of the half.
And Ryan Odom had Utah State in his zone. They went 1-3-1. Watch this ball fake. It was a simple... The defense just ran away from me. He goes, oh, no problem with that. I know he's shooting sub 30% from 3, but that guy is a walking bucket. You don't want to lose him on the offensive end. Utah State, though, fantastic in the first half on the road.
15 points for E.J. Harkless. He's certainly carried the load for the Rebels of UNLV. AT&T 5G at the half is next. Utah State up by 12 in this quad 2 game in Vegas.